Alrighty, everybody, welcome into this is Sunday Main. And this evening, sorry, this evening we are reading through Jeremiah chapter 50. We're gonna probably finish this out tonight because I feel like it'd be beneficial to start Lamentations, uh, Lamentations tomorrow, I think is what it's called. So we're gonna start a new book tomorrow, but we're gonna finish this one out tonight. So, alright, chapter 50, a message about Babylon. This is the word the Lord spoke through Jeremiah the prophet concerning Babylon and the land of the Babylonians. Announce and proclaim among the nations. Lift up a banner and proclaim it. Keep nothing back, but say Babylon will be captured. Bel will be put to shame. Marduk filled with terror. Her images will be put to shame, and her idols filled with terror. A nation from the north will attack her and lay waste to her land. No one will live in it. Both people and animals will flee away. In those days at that time, declares the Lord, the people of Israel and the people of Judah together will go in tears to seek the Lord their God. They will ask the way to Zion and turn their faces toward it. They will come and bind themselves to the Lord in the everlasting covenant that will be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherd have led them astray, and caused them to roam on the mountains. They wandered over the mountain and hill, and forgot their own resting place. Whoever found them devoured them. Their enemies said, We are not guilty, for they sinned against the Lord. Their verdant pasture, the Lord, the hope of their ancestors, flee out of Babylon. Leave the land to the Babylonians, and be like the goats that lead the flock. I will stir up and bring against Babylon an alliance of great nations from the land of the north. They will take up their positions against her, and form another north, and form the north. From the north she will be captured. Their arrows will be like skilled warriors, who do not return empty-handed. The Babylonian will be plundered. All who plunder her will have their fill, declares the Lord, because that you rejoice and are glad. You who pillage my inheritance, because you frolic like a heifer threshing grain, and neigh like a stallion's. Your mother will be greatly ashamed. She who gave you birth will be disgraced. She will be the least of the nations, a wilderness, a dry land, a desert. Because of the Lord's anger, she will not be inhabited, but will be completely desolate. All who pass Babylon will be appalled. They will scoff because of her wounds. Take up your position around Babylon, all you who draw the bow. Shoot at her, spear no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Shout against her on every side. She surrounds her towers, her walls are torn down. Since this is the vengeance of the Lord, take vengeance on her, to do to her as she has done to others. Cut off from Babylon the sower and the reaper with his sickle at harvest, because of the sword of the oppressor. Let everyone return to their own people. Let everyone flee to their own land. Israel is a scattered flock. The lions will chase away. The lions have chased away. For the first to devour them was the king of Azariah. The last to crush their bones was Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon. Therefore, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says: I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I punished the king of Assyria. But I will bring Israel back to their own land, pasture, and they will graze on caramel and banish. Their appetite will be satisfied on the hills of Ephraim and Gilead. In those days, at that time, declares the Lord, searches will be made for Israel's guilt, but there will be none, and for the sins of Judah, but none will be found. For I will forgive the remnant I spare. Attack the land of Merathai, and those who live in Pekod, pursue, kill, and completely destroy them, declares the Lord. Do everything I have commanded you. The noise of the battle is in the land, the noise of the great destruction, how broken and shattered is the hammer of the whole earth. How desolate is Babylon among the nations. I set a trap for Babylon, and you will be caught. You were caught before you knew it. You were found and captured, because you opposed the Lord. The Lord has opened his arsenal and brought out the weapons of his wrath. For the sovereign Lord Almighty has work to do in the land of the Babylonians. Break open, come against her from afar. Break open her garners, pile her up like heaps of grain, completely destroy her, and leave her no remnant. Kill all her young bulls, let them go down to be slaughtered. Woe to them, for the day has come, the time for them to be punished. Listen to the fugitives and refugees from Babylon, declaring in Zion, how the Lord our God has taken vengeance for his temple. Summon archers against Babylon, all those who draw the bow, encamp all around her. Let no one escape. Repay her for her deeds. Do to her as she has done, for she has defiled the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. Therefore her young men will fall in the streets. All her soldiers will be silenced in the dead, declares the Lord. See, I am against you, you arrogant one, declares the Lord Almighty, for your day has come, the time for you to be punished. The arrogant one will stumble and fall, and no one will help her up. Will I kindle a fire in her towns? The will consumes all who are around her. This is what the Lord Almighty says. The people of Israel are oppressed, and the people of Judah as well. All their captors hold them fast, refusing to let them go. Yet they redeem, their Redeemer is strong. The Lord Almighty is the name. He will vigorously defend their curse, so that he may bring the rest of their land, but unrest to those who live in Babylon. A sword against Babylonians, declares the Lord, against those who live in Babylon, and against her officials and wise men. A sword against her prophets. They will become fools. A sword against her warriors. They will be filled with terror. A sword against her horses and chariots, and all the foreigners in her ranks. They will become weaklings. A sword against her treasures. They will be plundered. Oh my, that was one heck of a sneeze. A drought on her waters. They will dry her up. For it is a land of idols, idols that will go mad with terror. So desert creatures and hyenas will live there, and their owl will dwell. It will never again be inhabited or lived in for generations to generations. As I overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah, along with their neighbors' towns, declares the Lord. So no one will live there, no people will dwell in it. Look, an army is coming from the north, a great nation, and many kings are being stirred up from the ends of the earth. They are armed with bows and spears. They are cruel and without mercy. I got this other bookmark in here I'm not even like touching right now. Alright. They sound like the roaring sea as they ride on their horses. They come like men in battle formations to attack daughter Babylon. The king of Babylon has heard reports about them and has hands hung limp. Anguish has gripped him like that of pain of women in labor. Like a lion coming up from the Jordan thickets to rich pasture lands, I will chase Babylon from its land in an instant. Who is the chosen one I will appoint for this? Who is like me? Who can challenge me? And what shepherd can stand against me? Therefore hear what the Lord has planned against Babylon, what he has purposed against the land of the Babylonians. The young of the flocks will be dragged away. Their pasture will be appalled at their fate. At the sound of the Babylonians' capture, the earth will tremble. Its cry will resound amongst the nations. Chapter 51. This is what the Lord says. I will stir up the spirits of a destroyer against Babylon and the people of Chemath. I will send foreigners to Babylon to renown her and to devastate her land. They will oppose her on every side. In the day of her disaster, let not the archer string his bow. Let not him put on his armor. Do not spare her young men. Completely destroy her army. They will fall down, slain in Babylon, fatally wounded in her streets. For Israel and Judah have not been forsaken by their God, the Lord Almighty. Their land is full of guilt before the Holy One of Israel. Flee from Babylon. Run for your lives. Do not be destroyed because of her sins. It's time for the Lord's vengeance. He will repay her what she deserves. Babylon was a gold cup in the Lord's hand. She made the whole earth drunk. The nations drank her wine. Therefore they have now gone mad. Babylon will suddenly fall and be broken. Wail over her. Alright, let me put this book up here. My arm's getting tired. Get balm for her pain. Perhaps she can be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she cannot be healed. Let us save her, and each go to our own land. For her judgment reaches to the skies. It rises as high as the heavens. The Lord has vindicated us. Come, let us tell in Zion what the Lord our God has done. Sharpen arrows, take up the shields. The Lord has stirred up the kings of the Medes, because of his purpose is destroyed to Babylon. The Lord has taken vengeance for his temple. Lift up a banner against the walls of Babylon. Reinforce the guard. Station the watchmen. Prepare the ambush. The Lord will carry out his purpose, his decrees against the people of Babylon. You who live by many waters are rich in treasures. Your end has come. The time of you to be destroyed, the Lord Almighty has sworn by himself. I will surely fill you with troops as with swarms of locusts. They will shout in triumph over you. He made the earth by his power. He founded the world by his wisdom, and stretched out the heavens by his understanding. When he thundered, the waters in heavens roar. He makes cloud rise from the ends of the earth. He sends lightning with rain, brings out the wind for his storehouses. Everyone is senseless and without knowledge. Every goldsmith is shamed by his idol. The image he makes are fraud. They have no breath in them. They are worthless, the objects of mockery. When their judgment comes, they will perish. He who is the portion of Jacob is not like these, for he is the maker of all things, including the people of his inheritance. The Lord Almighty is his name. You are my war club, my weapon for battle. With you I shatter nations. With you I destroy kingdoms. With you I shatter horses and riders. With you I shatter chariots and driver. With you I shatter men and women. With you I shatter old men and youth. With you I shatter young men and young women. With you I shatter shepherds and flocks. With you I shatter farmers and oxen. With you I shatter governors and officials. Before your eyes I will repay Babylon, all who live in the Babylonian, for all the wrong they have done in Zion, declares the Lord. I am against you, you destroying mountains, you who are destroyed with the whole world, declares the Lord. I will stretch out my hand against you, roll off your cliff, and make you burned out mountains. No rock will be taken from you for a cornerstone, nor any stone for a foundation. You will be desolate forever, declares the Lord. Lift up a banner in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations for battle against her, summon against her these kingdoms, a rat, a Rarat, Mini, and Ashkenaz, appoint a commander against her. Send up horses like sworn locusts, prepare the nations for battle against her. The kings of Medes, the governor and all their officials, and all the countries they rule. The land trembles and withers, for the Lord's purpose against Babylon stands to lay waste the land of Babylon, so that no one will live there. Babylon's warriors have stopped fighting. They remain in their strongholds. Their strength is exhausted. They have become weaklings. Her dwelling are set on fire. The bars of her gates are broken. One courier follows another, and messenger follows messenger, to announce to the king of Babylon that his entire city is captured, the river crossing seized, the marsh set on fire, and the soldiers terrified. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Daughter Babylon, this is like a threshing floor. At the time it is trampled, the time of harvest, her will soon come. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has devoured us. He has thrown us into confusion. He has made us an empty jar. Like a serpent, he has swallowed us, and filled his stomach with our delicacies. Then he spewed out, may the violence done to our flesh be on Babylon. Say the inhabitants of Zion, may our blood be on those who live in Babylonia. Say Jerusalem, therefore this is what the Lord says. See, I will defend your cause and avenge you. I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. Babylon will be a heap of ruins, a haunt of jackals, an object of horror and scorn, a place where no one lives. Her people all roar like young lions, they growl like a lion cubs. But while they are aroused, they will set out a feast for them, and make them drunk. So they will shout with laughter, and sleep forever, and not awake, declares the Lord. I will bring them down like lambs to slaughter, like rams and goats. How Shikah will be captured, the boast of the whole earth seized. How desolate Babylon will be among the nations. The sea will raise over Babylon, its roaring waves will cover her. Her towns will be desolate, a dry and desert land, a land where no one lives, through which no one travels. I will punish Bel in Babylon and make him spew out what he has swallowed. The nations will not the nations will no longer stream to him, and the wall of Babylon will fall. Come out of her, my people, run for your lives, run from fierce anger of the Lord. Do not lose heart or be afraid when rumors are heard in the land. One rumor comes this year, another next. Rumors of violence in the land, and ruler against ruler. From the time will surely come, when I will punish the idols of Babylon. Her whole land will be disgraced, and her slain will all lie fallen within her. Then heaven and earth and all that is in them will shout for joy over Babylon. For out of the north destroyers will attack her, declares the Lord. Babylon must fall because of Israel, slain, just as the slain in all her earth have fallen because of Babylon. You who have escaped the sword, leave and do not linger. Remember, the Lord is in distant land, and call to mind Jerusalem. We are disgraced, for we haven't been insulted. Shame covers our faces, because foreigners have entered the holy places, the Lord's houses, the Lord's house. But days are coming, declares the Lord, when I punish her idols, and throughout her land the wounded will groan. Even if Babylon ascends to the heavens and fortifies her lofty stronghold, I will send destroyers against her, declares the Lord. The sound of the cry comes from Babylon, the sound of the great destruction. From the land of Babylonians, the Lord will destroy Babylon. He will silence her noisy din. Wave, waves of enemies will rage like great waters. The roar of voices will be resound. A destroyer will come against Babylon. Her warriors will be captured, and their bows will be broken. For the Lord is God of retribution. He will repay in full. I will make her officials and wise men be drunk, her governors, officers, and warriors as well. They will sleep forever and not wake, declares the King, whose name is in the Lord Almighty. This is what the Lord Almighty says. Babylon's thick wall will be leveled, and her high gates set on fire. People exhaust themselves for nothing. Nations' labor is only fuel of the flames. This is a message Jeremiah the prophet gave to the staff officer Seraiah, son of Neriah, son of Manasseh, when he went to Babylon. With Zedekiah king of Judah in the 4th year of his reign, Jeremiah had written on a scroll about all the disaster that would come upon Babylon, that had been recorded concerning Babylon. He said to Seraiah, when you get to Babylon, see that you are read all these words aloud. Then say, Lord, you have said you will destroy this place, so that so that neither people nor animal will live in it. It will be desolate forever. When you finish reading the scroll, tie a stone to it and throw it into the Euphrates. Then say, so will Babylon sink, to rise no more because of the disaster will bring on her, and her people will fall. The word of Jeremiah end here. The words of Jeremiah end there. Okay, so we're on the final chapter of this book, and then we'll be done with this whole entire book. So this whole video is going to be like a little bit longer than normal because the chapters are a lot longer, but I wanted to finish this out tonight. So the fall of Jerusalem, chapter 52. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 11 years. His mother's name was Hamutal, daughter of Jeremiah. She was Libnah. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, just like Joachim, and had done. It was because of the Lord's anger that that all this happened to Jerusalem and in Judah. And in the end, he thrust them through his presence. Now Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. So in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army. They encamped outside the city and built siege works around it. The city was kept under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. The 9th day of the 4th month, the famine in the city had become so severe that there was no food for the people to eat. Then the city wall was broken through, and the whole army fled. They left the city at night through the gate between the two walls near the king's garden. The Babylonians were surrounding the city. They fled towards Arah, but the Babylonian army pursued King Zedekiah and took over him in the plains of Jericho. All the soldiers, all his soldiers were separated for him and scattered, and he was captured. He was taken to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, where the pronounced sentence of him. There is Riblah, the king of Babylon, killed the son of Zedekiah before his eyes. He also killed all the officials of Judah. Then he put out Zedekiah's eye, bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babylon, where he put him in prison till the day of his death. On the 10th day of the 5th month, in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard, who served the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He set fire to the temple of the Lord, the royal palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every important building he burned down. The whole Babylonian army, under the command of the imperial guard, broke down all the walls around Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, carried into exile some of the poorest people and those who remained in the city, along with the rest of the craftsmen. And those who had deserted the king of Babylon, but Nebuzaradan left the rest of the poorest people of the land to work in the vineyard and field. The Babylonians broke up the bronze pillar, the movable stand, and the bronze sea that were at the temple of the Lord, and they carried all the bronze to Babylonian. They also took away the pots, shovels, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, dishes, and all the bronze articles used in the temple service. The commander of the imperial guard took away the basin, censer, sprinkling bowl, pot, lampstand, and dishes, bowls used for the drink offering, all that were made of pure gold or silver. The bronze for the two pillars to see and the 12 bronze bowls under it, and the movable stands which King Solomon had made for the temple of the Lord, was more than could be weighed. Each pillar was 18 cubits high and 12 cubits in circumference. Each was 4 fingers thick, and the hollow bronze capital on top of the pillar was 5 cubits high and was decorated with the network and pomegranate of bronze. All around the other pillar with it, pomegranate with silver. There were 96 pomegranates on the sides. The total number of pomegranate above the surrounding network was 100. The commander of the guard took as prisoner Sariah the chief priest, Zephaphan the next in rank, and the 3 doorkeepers of those still in the city. He took the officers in charge of the fighting men and 7 royal advisors. He also took the secretary, who was chief in charge of this conscription, the people of the land, 60 of whom were found in the city. Nebuzaradan, the commander, took them all and brought them to the king of Babylon in Riblah. There at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, the king had them executed. So Judah went into captivity away from the land. This is the number of the people Nebuchadnezzar carried into exile. In the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In Nebuchadnezzar's 18th year, 832 people from Jerusalem. In the 23rd year, 745 Jews into exile by Nebuzaradan, the commander of the imperial guard. There were 4,600 people in all. Jehoiachin Released. In the 37th year of exile, Jehoiachin, king of Judah, in the year of Alwel Marduk, became king of Babylon on the 25th day of the 12th month, in release of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, and freed him from prison. He spoke kindly to him and gave a seat of honor higher than those of the other kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiachin put aside his prison clothes, and for the rest of his life ate regularly at the king's table, day by day. The king of Babylon gave Jehoiachin a regular allowance as long as he lived, till the day of his death. So, yeah, that was a lot to take in and read, but, yeah, that was the end of it. A lot of destruction went on in this, just a lot of, like, stuff that the Lord didn't like, and that's why, again, I'll say it, the Lord just doesn't like when people don't follow his command, and that's why there was so much destruction in this ending part of this chapter. And on top, the end part of this book. And on top of it, if the other thing that like really stuck out to me was the fact that, um, Jeremiah was a prophet, and every time he prophesied about something, everybody would just like give him a super hard time about it. He ended up like going getting he ended up getting put in horrible positions because he was like predicting what the Lord said. And I don't get how like if you're following the Lord, why would somebody get mad at you? Isn't it supposed to be good for you to follow the Lord? Unfortunately, like there's people that will never believe it. I've been around people who I could be like, man, the Lord just blessed me something great. And nobody, there's people that will not actually believe it, and there's people that actually get mad because it happens to me quite frequently. And we have to remember to follow the Lord, we're going to get a bunch of blessings out of following the Lord. So we have to remember that, like, we just have to, like, keep following the Lord, keep getting blessed, and keep praying and doing all those incredible things that gets us connected with the Lord. At the end of the day, I look at it like this. You know, who who has a right to sit there and act like, you know, somebody's not allowed to worship the Lord or like keep praising the Lord to, get their blessings or whatever. Like, and a lot of people don't understand that, praising the Lord will give you incredible blessings. That's just how it goes. But, you know, this is my thoughts and my opinions on it. At the end of the day, I still believe, I know I've done well, and I know God's put me in positions where it gets really tough at times, but, you know, God does what he does to see if we're still going to follow him and everything. And, like, and that's just what it is like a lot of people don't want to, like, take into consideration how, like, it all works. And at the end of the day, you know, we're only human beings, and, just be nice to one another is all I can really say. You can getting mad at somebody for following the Lord isn't going to help you at all one bit. And I will say that myself. But anyway, with that said, I'm getting out here tonight. I'm tired right now. I've been out in the sun for a little while, and I wanted to finish off that book, so that's the end of that. So, in the meantime, guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll be putting another Bible video up, and I'll be putting shorts up here soon for the night. So, stay tuned, and God bless you, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, and God bless.